chili.
A lentil chili.
A lentil
Can I
chili.
get a
Yes. Yeah. So there's recipes.
recipe?
Yes. So there's.
Emily said I am the head chef at LAF After 50. So we've started a new program of community kitchens to engage the local community and also to get me out of the kitchen because I tend to be in there all the
Keep an eye
time.
on those fingers.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm a professional, so I have Band-Aids with me. So what I chose to make today is a lentil chili, and the reason that I chose it is that a lot of people don't work with lentils very much, even though they're really yummy and they're really versatile. They're inexpensive. They're also a very good, inexpensive substitute for ground beef. So,
Canned or fresh?
for this, because it cooks for a little bit, they're gonna be dry. So for this recipe, I would not recommend canned because they'll just go to mush. But if I was making a soup that I wanted to eat within a half an hour, I would use canned. So this recipe, you can also adapt it to a slow cooker. So you could do what I'm doing now, which is going to be sauteing the peppers and the onion. You would do that and then put it in your slow cooker with everything, and then it would be on low for about 4 hours. And also this freezes really well. Actually, it's better if you freeze it. So I'm going to saute this up. So there's just about a couple tablespoons of oil in there. Get this going. Okay. I mean, really, if you're going to do this in a crock pot, you don't really even have to saute these beforehand. You could just put everything in because it's cooking for so long. And this recipe also too, I made it for my family on Monday, and even my kids loved it, which was a very nice surprise.
How many does it serve?
This serves about 8 people, depending on the portion size. So this would be even good if you wanted to do kind of a meal swap with your neighbor, and then you make a batch, you each get half, and then you each put a portion in the freezer. It's a really good idea also. That's a good way to do it too. And this you could also make and make it into like a shepherd's pie with the potato on top. You would just cook it a little bit longer, let some of the liquid go out, and then put the potato on top and put it in the oven just like you would shepherd's pie. It would be really good. Here we go, now we're cooking.
Cooking lesson in it? No. Oh, really?
Why I'm not coming in?
Why? Put yourself.
So now you add not eating to your list with everything else?
Can't see, can't eat.
Can't see, can't eat.
Grumpy old man. Love it. Love you anyway, you old fart.
The onions and the peppers, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt. The salt and pepper are to taste. Everything is always to taste when you cook, right? You want it a little hotter,
Yes.
put a little bit of, you know, zip it up a little bit, right? You want it a little less? It's up to you.
And have salt, don't put it in.
That's right. So now the one thing I did forget with me today, and I knew I would forget something, was a bit of sugar. So as with any kind of tomato dish, you should always put some sugar in it.
Do you need sugar? We got some.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yep.
We'll get it.
And we just put that in. And more than thicken it up, the tomato paste just kind of gives it a meatier flavor. I mean, it thickens it up a little bit, but it kind of gives it more meat to the sauce, kind of. And then we just stir that up. So this is what you're looking at there. And then it's going to cook, I mean, depending on the lentils, it can cook for half an hour. It can cook for 40 minutes. If you're like me, I'll just put it on, I'll leave it for an hour because it's even better the longer it cooks. And it depends, and if you have to, if you find you've put it on for an hour, like I did, oh, it needs a little bit more liquid, just put a little, like a quarter cup of water in there and give it a stir, and it's good. That's good to go. Okay with that? Yeah. And we're just starting to almost come to a boil. So I'm going to bring it to a boil. Once it boils, I'm going to leave it with that off, so that it condenses down a bit, and the lentils are still absorbing it. So I'm going to close it right.
Boy, you're gonna take the lid off, you said?
Just a little bit, just like that.
Okay.
Yeah, just like that.
All right.
But this would be great. This would be great in your crock pot. This would be perfect in the crock pot. And this is, we like ours over rice with cheese, and we had it with, we like our chili with rice, but it's good with crackers too. But we usually do rice, chili, some cheese, sour cream, and tortilla chips if you have them. And my whole family loved it, which was great. That was a nice change.
Now could you add like beans to it?
You could. I don't know if I would though, only because this is already quite dense with it, unlike the ground beef where you need something to kind of cut it so that it isn't just a pasta sauce.
Right.
You know, it doesn't start to feel like a pasta sauce. I mean, you could if you wanted to. And I mean, it's a pretty easy recipe to, if you only had half a bag of lentils, you could just cut it right in half. Yeah, that would be easy. I mean, and you could do this as a pasta sauce also, over some pasta. If you didn't, if you wanted to have it really thick and like a meat sauce, it would go just as well. It would just as well. But I may actually, I think I'm going to do this soon with the mashed potatoes on top, like a shepherd's pie. Just because meat's so expensive, you know, so I have no problem doing it like that. But we'll let this cook for a little bit and have some more to share. And yeah, does anybody have any questions?
My house does or what?
No, I know, yeah. Celery to it.
I wouldn't go that far.
I always, any way that I can get vegetables into my kids. So for me, it's like, oh, frozen spinach is like the best thing in the world. So yeah, that's the nice thing about this, is that you can add whatever you want. So when you think that you can get eight servings out of it, I mean, it's not even $1 serving.
$5 total for all the ingredients?
For all the ingredients. Actually, I believe it was just under $5. So, because the bag of lentils you get, you don't even use the whole bag of lentils. So it may be $3, but you're not using the whole
But you could actually use the same recipe.
Oh,
Okay, minus the lentils and add the beans.
oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm not crazy about them.
Yeah. Some people really like them. I really like them.
Yeah.
Some people don't. It just, yeah.
It's good tasty.
And you know what?
I like the
You know what
taste
you
to
can
it.
do also is if you happen to have a blender or like a hand blender, you can even blend some of it up, and then you're getting the flavor of it, but you're not. If it's the texture that kind of throws you off of it,
And if you cook it longer,
If you cook it longer,
it's not as
it's,
gooey.
you're gonna have, it's gonna be, you could almost mash it with a potato masher. Yeah, so you could have the flavor, without.
I like the flavor.
Yeah, without
that's
the,
what
without
I'm
the
not
texture.
crazy about.
Yeah,
I
so,
figured, I got this, I got
Yeah.
the base.
exactly.
I've never had a chili recipe and I've been dying for chili. I can do it myself now.
I mean, you could do this with really any kind of bean if you wanted to just keep it with beans.
It's a good base though.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's your basic kind of chili recipe, yeah.
Does it have the same effect? It has a good taste, but it's not
It would be a little bit
mine.
different, it would be a little bit different, but, no, I think that's supposed to
You don't pour shuffle board and throw it
But if you wanted this to cook,
right
a little bit faster, say you wanted to have it cook like right within 30 minutes, you would just soak your lentils the night before.
Right.
So they're not canned where they're completely cooked and everything, but you could soak them the night before, just full water, leave them on the counter, cover them up, and then rinse them off before you put them in. And then they've absorbed enough water that they'll cook pretty quickly. Yeah. Yeah, they'll cook within about 20 minutes. About the same amount as right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Did you eat lentils?
Hmm?
Did you eat lentils?
I have not, I don't normally, no.
Oh, she does everything.
And you could make this as a soup also. You could use the exact same recipe, but make it as a soup. Just add.
Without the chili powder, you could.
No, you could still have it with that also if you wanted the flavor, but you could do it just with the stock and the tomato. Yeah.